Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. It's about time we start talking about this Louisville football program off to a 5-0 start under Jeff Brohm. Just went on the road Friday night and beat an NC State team that is one of the hardest places to win in the ACC. Carter Finley Stadium was rocking. Louisville definitely not playing their best football on the road. Still was able to figure out a way to win that football game. And what was most impressive to me is they can win an ugly one too. Like, we've seen Louisville win games by just outscoring teams. That offense was firing on all cylinders. This was a game where you had to rely on the defense. It was a little bit more of an uglier, kind of a rock fight-ish game, which you have to win those type of games. When you're playing 12, 13, 14 games in a season, those type of games, you're going to have to win a few of them. And Louisville had to win one last night like that, and they certainly did. That's probably what's most impressive. I want to talk about what we've seen from this Louisville team, specifically last Friday night. Just watched the game back this morning. Got some takeaways on the note sheet. Want to get into it. Before we do, just want to say thank you to you guys. The support you guys have shown the boys all college football season, especially Louisville fans. I mean, this is a team that we talked a lot in the offseason. We've been previewing a lot of games, kind of catching our attention a little bit. The support from you guys has really been awesome. So, one, if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. But more importantly, would love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section. I got some good stuff to talk about. I got some stuff they definitely need to clean up heading into Notre Dame next game. Appreciate y'all rocking with the boys. Let's get into this now. You got to start on the defensive side of the ball for Louisville, right? A shutout in the second half. They only allowed a total of 200 yards of total offense to this NC State team on the road. What an incredible defensive performance from Louisville. And it's great to see, because you saw the first four games, Louisville primarily just outscoring teams. And that's not to say the Louisville defense was bad the first 4 weeks, but they haven't really had to rely on that defense. Yesterday, Friday night, I mean, they had to rely on that defense to win them that game. That offense, we'll get to it, was definitely not playing and not firing on all cylinders. And Louisville was able to get that done. I want to start with up front, in that front seven. This is a Louisville team last year that led the nation in sacks. I mean, just lived in the backfield, creating negative plays. Although the sack numbers haven't necessarily been there like they were last year for Louisville, you're seeing that front seven create some serious havoc in the backfield. And against a team like Brennan Armstrong and NC State, and against a lot of quarterbacks that you'll see in the ACC, quite frankly, having that controlled havoc is really important. Yes, you want to get the negative plays. That being said, there are a lot of quarterbacks on your schedule that you'll have to try to keep in the pocket. They're most dangerous when they get outside, are extending plays, using their legs. Louisville did a really nice job, creating havoc, but also keeping Brennan Armstrong in the pocket generally. And I think that was what was most successful for Louisville. Brennan Armstrong's a guy that wants to get outside the pocket, use his legs. Louisville did a really nice job. Yeah, we're going to get some pressure on you, but we're also going to keep you in the pocket. They did a really nice job at that. Second thing, negative plays, winning on first and second down, forcing this NC State team to kind of live in that third and long range. I mean, that's a really important. If you can win on first and second down, and then you can get your edge rushers, guys like Ashton Gelati, to pin their ears back, that's a really good recipe for defense. And you look at when NC State went to base run packages, you're not counting Brennan Armstrong scrambling, which was by far the most success they had on the night. When NC State just wanted to line up and run the football, a team that traditionally has a very, very good offensive front, Louisville did a phenomenal job bottling that up. So you combine winning on first and second down, that controlled havoc, the secondary, extremely sticky. Whenever they did complete some passes down the field, it was just a good throw and catch, and you had to clap your hands. And this Louisville team did not blow any assignments. Nobody was running free in the back end, which is really impressive because you got a lot of transfers in that back end. And that defense really does seem to be coming together well. Now, I want to flip to the offensive side of the ball. This was by far the rockiest performance we've seen from this Louisville offense. And I think it really started with the pass protection of Jack Plummer not really going through his progressions like he needs to, right? State was throwing in a lot of blitzes, mixing up some coverages. Jack Plummer took too many sacks. The ball was just not coming out accurately and on time. And that kind of threw this Louisville offense off a little bit. Some of the things that I'd like to see a little bit more from Louisville is, one, Jack Plummer, you're a 6-year guy. You, one, cannot throw that interception in the red zone. When you turn the ball over 3 times, it's really hard to beat an NC State team on the road. they were able to do that. Not sure how many times they'll be able to replicate that. So when you can't turn the ball over 3 times, let's start there. The second is I would like to see Louisville push the ball down the field like they were the first 4 games, especially against an NC State team that, if you're following their injuries, they had 2 safeties down, and then they got a third one kicked out for targeting. You're kind of inexperienced back there in that NC State secondary. Louisville has the personnel to really attack that deeper third. And I feel like they just didn't really take the shots that you saw them take the first 4 weeks. And it worked when they went to it, right? Chris Bell got open for a touchdown. He drew another pass interference. You probably threw another touchdown to Jaden Thompson that got, for some reason was not called a touchdown. It was pretty clear to me that he caught it 2 feet in. That's a story for another time. Louisville had success pushing the ball down the field. They just didn't really go to it that much. And again, when you look at Jamari Thrash, Amari Huggins-Bruce, Kevin Coleman Jr., like, you have the personnel, you have the speed, you have the guys to win in that back end. Let them go cook, right? Let them go try to hit those explosive plays. This is a Louisville team that's pretty much built their offense on hitting those explosive plays. And they just didn't even really try to hit those last night. And I get on the road, hostile environment. That doesn't mean you drop what's been working the first 4 weeks. So again, when you have those big moments and big games, when it's a tight game, like, don't lose what works for this Louisville program. That's probably my biggest takeaway. Second, this was probably the least balanced performance we've seen from Louisville. This is a Louisville team that, yes, has been hitting the explosive plays through the air, but also has been running the football really well. 20 rushing yards on the night. It's a really good NC State front seven, probably the best, maybe next to Notre Dame, that you'll play all year. You got to figure out a way to somewhat run the football. If it has to look a little different, I get it. That being said, that balance has been really helping Louisville. They kind of lost that balance, that ability to run the football last night. And then focusing back in on Jack Plummer, like, Jack Plummer's a 6-year guy. They brought him in to kind of steady this offense with a lot of the new parts. He just wasn't good enough last week. And I'm not out on Jack Plummer. Again, hostile environment, really good defense. That being said, you got to get the ball out quicker. I would like to see, if NC State is going to bring those blitzes, like, go and get it out to your playmakers in space. They worked a little slip screen to Kevin Coleman Jr. that went for 30 yards. They had another screen to Jamar Jordan that went for 25, 30 yards as well. It seemed like they were having some success with some plays, right? Pushing the ball down the field, getting the ball out quick in screens. And again, when you're facing an NC State team that's bringing the blitz like they brought last night, those screens all of a sudden become extremely useful. And I feel like they had some stuff working, and they just didn't really go to it as much as they probably should have. That being said, all culminating. I know I was really critical on that offense for the last couple of minutes. You still went on the road. You beat a really good NC State team. I'm still really excited about this offense that had over 300 total yards. Jack Plummer threw for 286 yards. Wasn't that great on third down. You forced the turnovers, or you threw too many turnovers. That being said, I think it was a really good performance from this Louisville team. Anytime you go on the road, Carter Finley Stadium, and get that win, like, you got to be happy about it. Even if it looked 13-10, it could have been 3-0. You would be happy leaving Carter Finley Stadium with the win. Schedule looks really, really good. You got Notre Dame, Duke, Miami, Kentucky at the end of the year. These are all games that, with this Louisville offense and the ability to hit those explosive plays and how good this defense is playing, like, these are certainly winnable games. This is a Louisville team that has a lot of confidence. It's a healthy team going into the second half of the season. I'm really excited for this Louisville program. Appreciate you guys rocking with the boys. We'll be previewing this Louisville Notre Dame game coming in tomorrow after we watch the Notre Dame film. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to y'all later.